Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for our monthly meet and greet. To begin, happy holidays to you and your family. We're so excited to have you all with us tonight. As many of you know, this is a special monthly presentation focused on topics relating to Young Children Priority 1. This is a 30-minute Zoom call with a presentation and then a time period for questions and answers. Tonight, we have guest speaker Danielle Burley with PK Purposeful Play. Danielle was a preschool teacher for 8 years, and now she's a trainer of early childhood educators. She's a strong believer of creating purposeful, intentional, and appropriate learning opportunities for young children. Without any further delay, I would like to welcome Danielle.
Thank you. Thank you, Allison. And thank you to everyone who is joining us here live on this Zoom session. Of course, those also that are going to be hopefully watching this webinar in the future. I'm really happy to be here. I'm so excited that Allison asked me to do this. And it's nice to see so many people showing this great interest in early childhood and really wanting to also educate themselves on the importance of those really critical first 5 years. And I found this quote. I'm a real sucker for quotes. And it's a Bill Gates quote. And he said, the first 5 years have so much to do with how the next 80 turn out. And, you know, it's the purpose of these webinars are really to examine that age group, birth to about third grade, which is what we call early childhood, and really what actions people can take to positively impact children and their development. And I did spend some time this past weekend looking at some of the previous webinars, which I thought were fantastic. I loved them all. There were some that were focusing on the importance of health and well-being of young children, how that affects their child development and their learning. And of course, being a preschool teacher, I really enjoyed the one where they were talking about the priority of high quality education programs and the importance of employing and also retaining high quality education or educators, early childhood educators. So I don't want to repeat a lot of the content or the topics that were covered in those previous sessions. So instead, it's my hope that by the end of this half hour of our time together, that you will have a better understanding of what is the best way and really the most effective way for children to learn. And in teacher talk, we call this developmentally appropriate practice, which means that we're purposefully planning experiences based on what we know about child development. And I'm also hoping that you get a better understanding of the role of play in early childhood education and the role that play plays on a child's cognitive and physical, language, and social emotional development. And again, like I said, I'm a sucker for quotes. I brought my favorite mug here. And it says, we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. And I'm not saying that we are old. I'm not saying that at all because we're not. I'm saying that we can still learn new things and we can still have fun doing it. And just this past week, my mom texted me a photo of a coconut that they found in their yard in Barbados. And my dad had cut it open and she texted me a picture of the seed that came out of it. And I didn't know what a coconut seed looked like. So I was thrilled to get it. And she also texted these words that said, I'm going to see if I can grow a tree. Never too old to have wonder. And I loved it. No one is ever too old to have wonder. And scientists recently have determined that it takes approximately 400 repetitions to create a new synapse in the brain. And that's a lot of repetitions. And I don't know if you guys are willing to repeat something in action 400 times, but if it's done through play, it only takes 10 to 20 repetitions, which is pretty amazing. And it tells us something about play. So today, to help you create some new synapses in your brain, because of course we're never too old to create new ones. And I'm hoping to convince you how much learning happens while children engage in play. And maybe you will also come away with a new sense of wonder. And I'm probably thinking that you didn't know that you were going to be playing when you clicked on this Zoom link. So I hope I'm going to still have everybody with us by the end of this. First, I want to take a minute for everybody to just take a moment to think about your favorite memory of when you were younger. So maybe think of your favorite person that you played with, your favorite toys, or maybe just like a specific favorite experience that you have had. And I'll just give you a second to think about that. And I want to ask if anybody is willing to share. Just sort of describe whatever came to mind. I don't know if Allison told you this, but this is going to be an interactive session. You guys are going to be singing. We're going to be building and talking.
I did. I included it on our email. So
Okay, good.
Everybody came with their straight objects. Danielle, I am a twin. I have a fraternal boy twin that's now a grown man. And some of my best childhood memories are playing with him. And we have one of these, which are now considered old school. I found out from my 9-year-old niece, these cash registers that would really, you could press the buttons, you could put in the coins, the paper money, and it would open and close. And that was one of our favorite toys as children and playing together.
Good. Nice. Does anybody else want to share theirs?
I will.
Dan, I'm unmuting you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sandra.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have a childhood memory of playing with plasticine. It was like Play-Doh, before Play-Doh. Much harder. You had to work it in your hands to soften it. And we made animals and just all sorts of things out of it. Nice memory.
Good. So if you're thinking about those experiences and kind of reflecting on those, and those of you that didn't share, that's okay. But during those experiences, you were developing some really important process skills that maybe you didn't know about at the time. That these process skills are really crucial for future learning, not only in school settings, but in life. And through your play, you were probably observing, you were exploring, you were making connections to things that you knew from the past. You were learning to solve problems. You were organizing your information. You were also building muscles through those, big motor, gross motor and fine motor activities. You're most likely interacting with others. So you were negotiating and sharing. And also through those interactions, you're developing language skills. And I'm pretty sure at that age, you were also working on identifying your emotions and how to deal with those strong emotions. And using all of those skills that I've mentioned helps children, and really anybody at any age really, to figure out what they already know, how to use that information that they know, and also to determine what they want to do with that information and what they want to learn about. And really that means like, what are they wondering about? And this is something that I've always asked my students all of the time. I say, what are you wondering about? Or I might say, what do you think would happen if, or what else can you do? I might even just start a sentence with, I wonder, and sort of model how I might say something like that. And, my area of expertise is preschool age children. So that's 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. And they haven't been alive very long, like, a handful of years. So they really don't know much, do they? And so what they're doing through play is they're making sense of their world that's around them. And really, they're essentially learning those skills to learn. So they're learning how to learn. They're developing that sense of wonder that's really going to ignite that fire and passion to learn new things. So I'm going to stop talking because I think we should play. Has anybody ever played I Spy before? Okay, if you're shaking your head, then I would be sad. So we're going to play a game of I Spy. So I'm going to give you 20 seconds and look around you and find something that's close to you that you can hold up in front of your camera. So go ahead, grab something and hold it up in front of the camera. And see, already you are just like preschoolers, you are working on following two-step directions, and we haven't even started playing yet. So I want to ask somebody to, you can be the spire. Who can keep holding up your item because we haven't played yet. So hold up your item, and who would like to be the person who spies something? So you're going to start by saying, I spy with my little eye. Can I pick a volunteer, or would somebody like to volunteer?
I don't know how the game plays, so.
Okay. Who's going to do it? Someone has to start it. Who's my spire?
I spy
Okay, what do you spy?
a starfish.
Oh, so when you're playing I Spy, you want to try to think of a describing word. I spy with my little eye something that is
A starfish.
a starfish. Well, you have to make us guess. You know what you could do? You could say, I spy with my little eye something that is white.
Oh, I see. I see. I don't
And
know.
then you would have to guess what it is, right? So I'll try. I'm going to say, I spy with my little eye something that is, I think it's blue. Michelle has something that is blue. Does anybody? Oh, I shouldn't have told you. Can anybody guess what it is? Something that's
A water
blue?
bottle.
A water bottle, yay! And you know, when I've played this game with children, I mean, this is not accurate data, but I would say like 95% of the time they are choosing something. They're using a color to describe their item, and which is great. Color recognition is really important. But you know, being this highly educated and experienced teacher that I am, I would always want to take it to the next level. So I'm going to show you, and I'm going to demonstrate how we can take this to the next level. Hold up your objects again. I spy with my little eye something that I think it has 4 sides. Does anybody spy something that has 4 sides?
Is it black?
It is. Can everybody see what it is? Yeah. So you can see how it's really easy to adapt a game as simple as I Spy to meet so many more learning objectives. So you can work on color recognition and shape recognition, including like talking about the shape attributes, letter sound. So if I said I spy with my little eye, something that starts with the letter S, you could see something like that. I could say rhymes with car. We could be counting. We could be following, doing other kinds of things to follow directions. We're understanding language, and I could go on and on. Everything that can be learned through a simple game of I Spy. And I know I was thinking about some of them. You guys can put your things down. Thank you. I was thinking some of the other, another one of the previous topics that was in this webinar, these sessions, and it was talking about the importance of grandparents in the lives of children, which I haven't seen that one yet because I didn't see it on YouTube, but I can't wait to see it. But how fun this would be for a grandparent to play with a child. And it could lead to some amazing conversations about, you know, the grandparents' experiences and memories that they have. You could be looking at some of those artifacts that the grandparents have around their home. You can also think about how amazing this would be to play outside, especially if you were studying something like trees in a classroom. So all this through a simple game of I Spy. Another thing I wanted to do with you today to kind of prove my point of how important play is, I asked you to bring 10 items that were 10 small items that were straight-ish. So it could have been, you know, popsicle sticks. I don't know how many of you actually have popsicle sticks in your home. I have a lot. Toothpicks or spoons or something like that. And so grab your things, your items, and then hopefully you have sort of a flat surface around you. And I'm going to give you your directions. And here they are. Using your materials, your 10 objects, you're going to create something. And that's it. Those are your only directions. Could be anything. So go ahead and sort of make something beside you with your straight objects. And while you're doing that, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the importance of choosing materials for play. And sometimes we call them toys. but as an educator, I call them materials. So there's some materials or toys that are better than others. And you'll notice that the materials that you're using today, you might be a little bit limited in what you're going to be able to do with them because I gave you some restrictions. But there are so many other toys that are really open-ended. And then of course, the options for play with those open-ended materials are really, they're endless. Okay. So I want to ask, does anybody want to describe what they created beside them? And I know we can't see it. It'd be great if we could see it, but we can't. But does anybody want to describe what they made?
I'll describe.
Okay.
I made a triangle.
Made a triangle. Very good. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about your triangle?
My triangle has 10 different objects. 10 different objects make up my triangle.
Oh, wow. How many sides does that triangle have?
It has 3 sides.
Good. Yeah. So, it's limited. I mean, you may have been able to make a few more things, maybe a house or a square, maybe some different shapes, but taking these materials and thinking back to the classroom, and what if children had other materials, like some 3D materials, maybe some wooden blocks or empty boxes? What if they had some other props like people, little small people or cars, some animals, or maybe even bringing in nature items, leaves or rocks? And imagine what they could have created if they had those materials. So providing a lot of those open-end materials gives the opportunity for children to really extend their learning. And then of course, thinking about those highly qualified educators and having them sitting with a child as they're creating these things with the open-ended materials. And they're asking open-ended questions. What would happen if? What do you think? Why do you think that? So the adults are telling the children what to play with or how to play with them, but they're asking those questions and really deepening their learning. I know when I was asking Sandra, my mom, though, what did you make? It was very kind of limited because of the materials that we have, but think of, what else we could be talking about and discovering with other materials. And of course, this is again where those teachers come in and play. They have the knowledge about child development. They know how to be intentional with the materials that they're choosing and also with their interactions with their children. And, academics are becoming more and more, and I say academics, they're becoming more and more of a focus at a younger age. And children are really being expected to identify numbers and letters and sounds and count and read before they even reach kindergarten. And, so many people believe that this is too young. These expectations are too high for this age group. And, if it's done in developmentally appropriate, a purposeful and intentional way, it's actually possible. So children, if teachers provided maybe some paper and pencils along with the materials, or measuring tapes, or even some dress-up clothes, thinking of all thinking back to those process skills and all of those things that children will be learning, the options and the possibilities are endless when you have all those kinds of things. So another way to demonstrate this is we're going to sing a song together. And this is one I think most people know. It's called I'm Bringing Home My Baby Bumblebee. And if you would like to join in singing, you can. If not, that's okay. I am very used to singing on Zoom calls and in front of many people. So I'm going to get you to grab your bumblebee, hold it in your hands. I'm bringing home my baby bumblebee. Won't my family be so proud of me? I'm bringing home my baby bumblebee. Ooh, it stung me. I'm going to stop there because we kind of know, I don't know if you know how the rest of it goes, but you squish it, wiping it off. I do a licking off my baby because the kids love that one. But, it's just singing a song. Children are being exposed to rhyme, and in that one, alliteration. It could be counting. It could be, again, working on those movement skills. And when children sort of are more interested. They're more interested and invested in learning when it's fun. And also if it's something personal to them. So they're staying actively engaged in it. So can we take a minute to just quickly create a new verse to that song? We're going to use our previous knowledge and we're going to think of an insect that we know. Maybe in our classroom, we were studying insects. What have you seen lately? Nothing in Wisconsin, but how about in Florida?
We
There's
have
a-
butterflies everywhere.
Butterflies, good. I'm going to see if we can think of, well, we could do butterflies. I was thinking bee and butterflies start with the same letter. Okay, can anybody think of a word that describes a butterfly? But I'm going to ask you to think of something that starts with a B sound.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, very good. So I'm bringing home my beautiful butterfly. Won't my family be so proud of me? I'm bringing home my beautiful butterfly. Ooh, it doesn't sing.
Smash.
It tickled me or something like that. So again, you know, when you have input from children, I mean, they're going to be learning so much just through a song. And when children are entering your classroom, they have so many differences. We've got different genders and different cultures. They come to you with different temperaments and life experiences, interests, languages, and all kinds of special needs. And all children deserve to learn and develop and grow. And through play, through song, through interactions, you can meet the needs of all children, which I think is amazing. And, you know, we all have this sense of wonder. And kind of to bring us to a close here, I would like to wonder and put it out to you. I wonder what role you will play or what actions you can take to really ensure that children are not only developing those really fundamental skills that are necessary for success, but really more importantly, developing that joy of learning that is going to carry them through those next 80 years. So thank you guys so much for joining me. And I know that we have a few minutes. If you do have questions for me, I would love to answer them for you.
I just have a comment. About 2 weeks ago, I was at a early hood child care center with kids from roughly 6 weeks to 3 years old. And they were talking about different items they have in their classrooms based upon age. One of the items that they were talking about, one of their desires was to get a carpet or big rug with a frog pad, with frogs and things, and how that would be helping the children use their creative minds. They could talk about the frogs, learn about the frogs. They could actually become frogs on the frog pad. So I just thought, what an excellent way. I've never looked at it that way before, but that's great.
I know, yeah, some of those materials that are in the classroom, you know, a lot of us don't think about that, but it can just lead to all kinds of learning. Even just a simple carpet can do that. Anybody else?
Well, Danielle, this definitely was our most fun meet and greet we've ever had. And we are just so thrilled to have you. Thank you for joining us, and everyone that joined from all over the US and from outside the US. We do have a couple more minutes, so if there's anyone that has any questions, please feel free to jump in. And thank you for everyone bringing your objects and be willing to play with Danielle. We really do appreciate you, and it was such a great way to learn, Danielle, about play. So thank you for spending some time with us tonight.
Good. Thank you so much for inviting me. I had fun too.
Yeah, I just want to say, here's my clapping for you. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Well, if we don't have any other questions, I want to be respectful of everyone's time. And thank you all again for joining us. Thank you, Danielle, and all of our Board of Trustees that joined us. We look forward to seeing everyone next month, and happy holidays to you. Thank you and good night.